Hello and welcome to my shop. My name is George and I'm coming to you from Chelsea, Quebec. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is unceded territory of the Algonquins. Now, today's video is going to be some tips for the hobbyist on using pipe clamps. My go-to pipe clamps are 2-footers. I have 6 of them and I use them just about all the time. I also have 2 3-foot lengths, 4 4-foot lengths, and 2 7-foot lengths. I hardly ever touch them. These are my go-to clamps. Now you might think to yourself, okay, I can buy a little flexibility by getting long lengths of pipe and then using them at the short distance when I need to. I don't think that's a good idea. As I said before, I reach for the 2-footers all the time, hardly ever use the 4-footers. But you're going to say, okay, but George, look, your 4-footers can act as long clamps, and in a pinch they can be short clamps. So why bother with the short lengths when sooner or later you're going to need the long lengths? One of the things I don't like about that idea, which I've had myself, is that most of the time you're going to be using the shorter lengths. And if you have a long tail on your clamp, when you set it up, it very likely will tip. And that becomes a pain. You're trying to set up some boards, you bring them by, you don't want things underneath to be bouncing all over the place. Now there's a simple fix, and that's to prepare a block of wood that will keep the tail off the ground. Okay, and you just slip it on and you can solve that problem. But still, carrying around the larger, heavier clamp, adjusting it so that you can use it in its short area, I find that to be a pain in the neck. Another suggestion that I'm going to make is to use the Besseys with the feet. You're going to be using these all the time. Get yourself a good quality clamp. Now, the H-Style with the feet are very good because they'll keep your work off the ground. And so then, when you want to bring the 2 boards together at the edges, you'll have the height to slip a clamp underneath and then close the junction so that the boards remain flat against each other instead of bowing up when you start cranking down on the assembly. I do have some inexpensive clamps as well. I thought I would save a few bucks. It wasn't worth it. The problem is that not all of the tails pinch down on the pipe. And I'm expecting they'll be either tossing them out or just ignoring them for the rest of their lives. Now, here's a problem that I'm solving right now. I'm gluing together a tabletop. This is not something I do every day. In fact, I think it's been never since I last made a tabletop. So in making the tabletop, I brought my 2-footers into the picture, and I took the 3 boards from one side and glued them together. You do want to glue them just a small number of boards at a time. You don't want to glue all 7 boards in one shot. So I glued together the 3 boards from one side. Next day, glued together the 3 boards from the other side. And now I'm looking at gluing together those three, the other three, and a middle board. For that, I'm going to need some 4-footers. Aha, you say. You need 4-footers, don't you? Okay. I went to see what it would cost me to buy 6 4-foot clamps. And so for that, it meant getting the pipe and getting the ends as well. And that came out to $213 for an operation that I probably will not do again unless I make a new workbench, 5, 6, 10 years down the line. So $213 for the head and tail, 6 of them, and the lengths of pipe. But I'm a hobbyist. I have time. And what I decided to do instead was just buy the pipe. And that came out to $66 for 6 lengths of pipe. So what I'm going to do is take my trusty 2-footers, remove the head and the tail, transfer it to the 4-footers, glue the tabletop, and then disassemble the 4-footers and put them back on the 2-footers, which, as I said before, I use all the time. Well, that's it for me for now. I hope you found something of value in this presentation. Take some time to indulge your passion, and if you can share it, even better. Bye from me for now.